Listen to what Miss Peta says. Listen to what she says. Oh, listen to what Miss Peta says. Listen to what she says.
Hello everybody, it's Peta here from FACEROBICS. Thank you so much for having a look at the videos, and I hope you're enjoying all the videos that I do have on offer, and I hope you're enjoying the testimonies that are now starting to come in. On Wednesday I put up a testimony of a lovely woman called Sandy who wanted everybody to see her successes, especially that she is a mature woman, and she wanted to let everybody know that it doesn't matter what age that you start face exercises, that all you have to do is give it a go. So I've posted the video here for you, and I hope that you go back and have a look at that, because it's just the most beautiful testimony of what you're able to achieve. Okay everybody, it's FACEROBICS Friday, and today we're going to be talking about the nose. Now I haven't done a video on the nose for a long time, but a lot of people do make comments on the videos that I do have. So I thought I'd do a little bit of an update, since there are so many people that are coming onto the channel now that you might have missed it. Now I wanted to talk to you about the nose because when you exercise it, it does shape very, very quickly. So when you exercise the nose, you cannot do it so vigorously. Now when I first started facial exercises, I wanted to change the shape of my nose. And if you have a look at the pictures, you'll see that my nose was a whole different shape than it is now. And I've managed to be able to maintain the shape of my nose as it is today. But the reason why I did this was when I first started, I started off quite strong. I did these exercises on my nose quite strong, quite vigorously. And then I found after time, I had a really nice shape. But then I found after time that it started changing shape again, and I wasn't happy with the shape. So I had to figure out a way just to keep it in maintenance. Now the thing about the nose, there are a few basic things that I have to let you know when you're exercising your nose. If you've got a bone that comes out, if the shape of your nose is crooked and the bone is crooked, facial exercises will not help change that. You cannot change bone. Bone is the shape of your face, the inherent shape of your face, and you cannot change that. What you can change though is the muscles around the bone. So what you need to do is when you start exercising your nose, basically what happens, it goes into the shape that it wants to go into. It sort of, you can, how can I say it? You can guide it into a shape, but at the end of the day, it's going to go into a shape that it wants to go into. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do the exercise. I'm going to give you a few tips along the way, and then when you finish getting to the point where you think your nose shape is where you want it, then I'm going to show you how to keep that shape in maintenance mode. Now, what you need to do is that when you place your finger underneath your nose, don't push it up so far. Don't push it up really sort of vigorously or dramatically. Just push it up to just gently up. Now, as you notice, when I push my nose up, it does wrinkle along the top here where the two bulbs of the nose meet. So what you need to do is you need to pinch it so those wrinkles do not happen. So when you push it up, you pinch it and you pull it up a bit, and then you basically, as you're pulling it up, you're really just guiding your finger to give it a bit of resistance. So then when you do this, you flare your nostrils. Now I'm going to flare my nostrils without the isolation, because the actual exercise is flaring the nostrils. The hands are the isolation part of the exercise. So when you flare your nostrils, you use these muscles here, and these are levitator muscles, and you use the nasalis muscle that sits on the top of the bridge of your nose, and that muscle goes right across. So we'll get Dorian here, good old Dorian. Now you can see Dorian's nasalis is here of the nose, and then in here there are some levitator muscles. Now these muscles have got like 5 names, 5 words in its name, and it's quite complicated. So I encourage you to go to the link below to see the muscles of the face on that link, and then have a look at the names of those muscles. But basically these muscles in here are levitator muscles. Now these are the muscles, the levitator muscles at either side of your nose, and the nasalis are the muscles that you're going to be using to do this exercise and to flare your nose. Now in here, it's not showing on Dorian, but in here there are some very tiny little muscles as well. And they're not talked about very often, but they're tiny little muscles also that are attached to these levitator muscles. You'll also be using those muscles. So let me show you how to flare your nose. So all you do is just push your nose down, and as you push your nose down, your nostrils flare. Okay? It's something that you might have to start practicing. And again, I always say that you don't just pick up the way to do this. I have a friend who's just started doing the nose exercise, and I've been coaching her on how to do it, but she just can't quite get to move her muscles just yet. So she's got to practice, because we're not used to doing that. We don't walk around like this all the time, going like this. So it's something that you have to get used to doing. And don't feel funny about doing it, because it's going to really help your nose. So once you get used to that action, now what I'm doing is I'm moving the levitator muscles and I'm moving the nasalis. Now it doesn't look like I'm moving that, but that muscle is also moving. Good way to do it is to have a feel at what's actually moving when you do it. And then you might start to understand which muscles are actually moving there underneath your skin. The other thing I didn't do, when I pulled out Dorian, we didn't say hello. I'm sorry, mate. We didn't say hello to Dorian. So hello, Dorian, and thank you for being here and showing us your wonderful face. And again, look, we'll go past it again. There it is, the nasalis. And we have the levitator muscles either side of the nose. So thank you so much for being here, Dorian. I really appreciate it. And he's a really good contribution now, isn't he? I'm really pleased that we've got him. So, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to place our finger on the tip of our nose. We're going to pinch the part where it starts to wrinkle if you push it up, and then we're going to flare our nose. Now, as you can see, I'm not using my lips. I'm not doing that action. I'm just flaring the nostrils. There shouldn't be any other muscles moving on your face. So this area here should not be moving or wrinkling. Your eyes should not be wrinkling, and your mouth should not be wrinkling. This is just for the nose. Now, as you do that exercise, you start off 50 times and start off gently. Don't rush your way through this, because, you know, you want to start off gently. Then when you get to 50, you've done your 50, and then hold and freeze for the lactic burn. Now, sometimes that's a little bit hard to do because we're not used to holding and freezing those muscles. So once you get used to really holding and squeezing those muscles at the end for that 20 seconds, then you start to really understand where the muscles are on your face. It is really very good for doing it. But you have to do it because you need to get the lactic burn. Now, the other thing is that when you do a nose exercise, if your nose starts to change into a shape where you do not like that shape, just simply stop the exercise and your nose will go back to its normal shape. So now we've got our nose into a shape where we want it. What we have to do now is keep it in that shape without having to keep doing this exercise. Because if you do that exercise long term, it's going to start changing the shape of your nostrils, and it's going to start changing the shape of your nose again. And I know this because it's what happened to me, because I just kept doing that exercise as part of my routine. And then after about it could be 6 months, I didn't really take notice of how long it was, but I noticed that my nostrils started getting bigger, and I thought, man, I have to stop doing that. So what I did instead was that I just gently put my finger at the tip of my nose, very gently, so you can see I'm not pushing my nose up at all. It's just there guiding the exercise. And that's all I do now, and I might do that 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes I do it 4 times a week, depending if I've missed out the week before or whatever I feel is right to do. But at least 2 to 3 times a week, this exercise to keep your nose in maintenance shape. It's really important because otherwise, if I don't do that, my nose will just go back to what it looked like before in my before pictures. And I really don't want that, because what was happening to me, my nose was getting sort of bigger and squarer and drooping, and it sort of looked like a man's nose. And I really didn't like it. You know, I didn't want a man's nose, okay? I wanted a woman's nose. So that's why I was quite desperate to get that nose back into a shape where it should have been when I was younger. Now, the thing is also, what will happen is that if you use this exercise, so you can use, you know, the other side, whatever's comfortable. This way is comfortable for me. What it's going to do is, after time, it's going to lift the tip of your nose, and it's going to create distance between the top of your lip to the tip of your nose. The wider it is, the younger you have the appearance of looking. So, I'll say it again. The wider this area is, the younger you look. It gives this optical illusion, because I guess it's about the fact that when we age, everything droops along with our nose. If our nose is up and it's sitting up upright, then we have the illusion that we're looking younger. So the nose is a really important thing. Look, if you've got any questions about this, please do feel free to make a comment, because I'd love to be able to help you. As I say, there are a lot of people that do ask about the nose and about the exercises. So this is the reason why I wanted to redo this video, so you've got some extra tips on what to do with it. And you're not to worry. As long as you follow my principles, as long as you follow my tips, holding the nose, pinching it here so you're not creating wrinkles, just holding it up, not like full on up, like, you know, like this, but just gently up, and then flare the nostrils. Not using your mouth, just flaring the nostrils. Okay? I know these make crazy faces, but, you know, who cares about the crazy face? As long as they rejuvenate us, as long as it makes us look younger, I don't care. You know. Anyway, guys, look, I hope that's helped you today. I hope there's something there that you can take away from it. And you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you on Sunday for Future Vision. Bye now.
What she says. Oh, listen to what Miss Peta says. Listen to what she says. She said, everybody put on your pretty